The first real memory that I have encountering with Jesus, I was in sixth grade. I went to what we called at my old church a Believe weekend. And what that was, it was a time where middle schoolers through high schoolers it was basically went to some person that was a part of the church's house for a weekend. And we would do a bunch of games and silly things like that. But I remember during one of the moments of worship, it was just like a packed out smaller auditorium, but I just remember in that moment just like really feeling the spirit. We were playing the song. I don't remember the title of the song, but it's all stand with arms high and heart abandoned. And I just remember being a kid with just like both my arms just like straight in the air and just really feeling like the Lord's presence and over me in that moment. It was probably seventh or eighth grade is when we kind of slowed down just because we started traveling all over the state and all over the country for basketball tournaments. So we kind of fell away, not fell away, but I guess came more lukewarm. Not being as heavily involved in church definitely took a toll in my life. The struggles with girls and with online websites that were became a heavy addiction of mine throughout my earlier years. I had to drop out of college actually, and was just riddled with anxiety and worry and depression. Um, I ended up getting diagnosed with a pretty serious chronic disease called ulcerative colitis. I actually ended up losing 50 pounds, and I'm already pretty skinny. I went from 195 pounds to 138 pounds that I had marked. But just like during that season of just depression and anger of losing my dream of playing college basketball and feeling like I'd never be able to get to that platform again, or that my dream of playing again was just riddled me with anger and depression and anxiety and worry. I remember one time I went to one of my best friend's weddings to be one of his groomsmen, and one of our friends I played Xbox with was there, and he told me how much that he was like worried for me, just because like when we talked to him, he would ask me what I'd been doing. I was like, really all I would ever do is just sleep and play Xbox and then just go back to sleep, and I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't leave because I was just so filled with fear of my disease that I just felt trapped in it. It was a much longer span of time than I wanted. I didn't really kind of break that cycle until I was 23. I was working in a restaurant in New Braunfels called Pat's Place, and a girl named Courtney Sims started working there. And she was just an incredible light for the Lord that really just like showed me how bright and wonderful God is with having like a full devoted relationship with him, and just how lukewarm I was at the time, because I always said I was a believer and said I was a Christian, but my actions didn't necessarily portray that. Then she just came and showed me just like the love and compassion and how we really should be living for the Lord, which really made me want to also be that light for others. Now that I've devoted my life to the Lord, I drive 45 minutes to work every day. I get to be a vessel for the Lord and get to be the hands and the feet, and it's just relieved so much pressure and anxiety and that weight. And obviously, it can still be there a little bit, but now that I have fully equipped the armor of God and to know really what that means, that it's a lot easier to wrestle with it and to kind of cut it down, if you will, as I can feel that anxiety and worry coming up. So it's just filling me with a lot more peace and comfort and love and joy and just kind of all those fruits of the Spirit that are listed in Galatians. Hmm. Yeah. I think I've said it before, but for me it really does ring true for me. It's all about the progression and not the perfection, because when you're looking for the progression, you see it and you can see that growth. You can see where you took that first step, and you can see it 10 miles down the road even. But you can really just focus in on the growth in that, because like once you give your life to the Lord and devote to that path, like it is, you will see a difference. You'll feel a difference. The people around you will see a difference. And just don't be afraid of the hard times. I say that the year of 2018, when I dropped out of college and I was losing all that weight, was the worst year of my life before September 31st, when it became the best year of my life. I wouldn't ask for the opportunity again by any means, but there was a reason God gave me this disease. On September 31st of that year in 2018, my father had a massive heart attack. That only 5% of people live through, and I was the first person to be in the room to give him CPR. So that weight was crushing. That I was already super depressed, and now my dad was in the hospital and could most likely die. Thank God he didn't. But just don't be too ignorant to think that God can't use you, even what you think is the worst year of your life, because he could turn it into a miracle.